All right, this guy has quite the interesting take on liberal white women.
I think people underestimate to what extent privileged, especially white women, are willing to sacrifice their children for the altar of status. For them, having a trans kid is like winning the lottery, right? And you laugh, but it's really the case. It's very disturbing. They're the only ones bringing their kids to drag shows because for these affluent white female liberals, awfuls, a man in makeup is like the second coming. And they're showing dad or their husband or whoever how enlightened they are because this is what corporate media tells them. So they can't wait to bring their kids and show how with the program they are. So they are a menace. And this, in my opinion, is Munchausen's by proxy. They're torturing their kids for the sake of status and accolades.
So look, I agree with that 110% because look, when you look at the gender cult ideology and when you look at the rapid rise of all of this stuff over the past 10 to 15 years, honestly, behind every quote unquote trans child is some white female liberal who is almost like more thrilled to take the microphone and to be all out in public and be like, oh my God, look at me. I'm so great. Here's my trans child. And when you look at them, and there's been a lot of these people, by the way, it really does become all about them. And I think that the speaker has a really good point about how, these liberal white women will sacrifice their children on the altar of looking a certain way socially, okay? Look at the fact, and I think about this stuff, like I think about these Hollywood celebrities, all right? So how many Hollywood celebrities have transgender children? I'm trying to think about them off the top of my head. Jamie Lee Curtis has a trans child. Annette Bening has a trans child. Naomi Watts has a trans child. Sandra Bullock, I believe, has a trans child. Charlize Theron has a trans child. These are 5 white women in Hollywood. You don't have to fact check me on Sandra Bullock, but these are 4 to 5 liberal white women in Hollywood that all have transgender children, by the way. So how is it that even among adults, transgender identity has been 0.1% of the population for a very long time? How is it that all of this stuff has all of a sudden exploded in the past 20 years in this country? All right, this is not something that is biological. This is not something that is real. This is a hardcore, the trans child thing is hardcore social contagion. And people really need to start thinking about this and addressing this as what it is.